Hello everyone and welcome. It's Shanna. Hope you're doing well today. Now I've been wanting to work with this Harvest Silhouettes from Gina K. This came in while I was on vacation and I got to tinker with it just a little bit. But I really want to do this farm scene and then do something with those sprigs of flowers. I think that farm scene could really make a nice card, masculine card. And then the sprigs of flower would be another nice silhouette to make. So these are what I'm going to be working with here today. So I'm just going to bring in my scrapbook.com sticky mat and lay a piece of Nina Solar White down. And I think I'm actually decided to bring in my rubber mat from scrapbook.com as well, just so that doesn't slide around on that glass mat. It'll just help with the ink blending. So the silhouette cards are just perfect, or silhouette stamps, are just perfect for an ink blended background. And I really enjoy ink blending. I think it's fun. It's just something fun to do. Now here I'm just pulling that farm scene stamp out and laying it on my mat there just to see, okay, now, what area do I need to cover? What can I leave uncovered as far as my blending, and just trying to really get a feel for that. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And I've actually used the grid on my map to kind of give me an idea of where I need to stop my blending. At any rate, it won't matter because the ink that I use over it will cover it up. So I'm using Prized Ribbon, Stormy Sky, and Pumice Stone Distress Oxide inks. And I'm just starting with the Pumice Stone there, and I'm just kind of, I want to make a nighttime sky, so that's why I'm kind of using the gray. And then I'm going to bring in the Stormy Sky just to kind of round out my sky and add some darkness to my panel, and just trying to blend. And now just continuing to blend, I'm going to bring in that Prized Ribbon because I'd like a little darker around the edge. And you'll notice I'll make multiple passes at these colors. Not sure if I cut it out or not, but I always try to blend at least 2 times with my colors, sometimes more, just depending on how it blends. But I just feel like if you do it at least 2 times, you're going to have a better blend than just just the single pass with each color. So now I'm just darkening up my edge there. I think I'm using some Gina K Slate because I thought that would actually darken it up a little bit, because I didn't really have a good black ink to use. I'm using you'll see I've already stamped this once with Slate, and I've determined it's not as dark as I want it. So I'm bringing in my Memento black ink, and I'm just going to stamp right over the top of that Slate, because I wasn't getting a good dark coverage, and so I thought I'll just bring in a straight black and just stamp over it. So it took multiple stamps to get this stamped the way I like it. Of course, it's because it is a silhouette, it's got a large area of coverage. So you're going to expect to probably ink more than a couple of times just to get it covered where you want. And so I'm just using my little pressing tool to cover all the areas. And then I'm just eyeballing any area that I think needs a little bit more, and I'm just stamping that particular area there. This stamp set is just so reflective of what you see in the landscape in Indiana. We are just covered with farm fields and tractors and those types of things. So this is really very indicative of our landscape around us. We're just covered with farms. Most of what we see around here are corn fields and bean fields. Of course, we have lots of other types of crop in our area as well, but predominantly what we see when we're driving around are corn fields and bean fields. I'm sure there's lots of other things. I just don't, I guess, as easily identify with some of those things as others. We are not on a farm, however, we do have a garden, and we just had a bounty of crop this year. It was really nice in our garden. We just have a couple of raised beds in which we put some tomato and peppers and onions and some different things in, and we had a really good year with that, so that was nice. I'm still continuing to stamp. I think I'm almost there. Yes, I am there. I'm happy with that. And so then I've got this panel, And I've got the white on the bottom, as you can see. But I need to get it cut down because I want to layer it. And I'm going to do 4 3/4 by 3.5 is what my panel is going to be. And then that will allow me to have 2 layers for it. And so I'm just getting it cut down using my Cricut trimmer just to easily and quickly trim both the bottom edge and then the sides off. So that's what I'm doing here. And I paused there because I'm thinking, okay, I took this much off. Now how much do I need to take off the sides so that I would have the perfect layers for the next 2 panels? So that's what I was doing. I just took a minute to think about what I was doing. And I wanted some off of each side just because of the way the stamp laid on the paper. So I went ahead and took part off one side and part off the other, and that gives me my panel. I'm real pleased with the blending. I think it looks really pretty with that halo in the center. So now I'm just going to layer them up. I've got a 4 1/4 by 5.5 white panel. And then I'm going to come into 4 by 5 1/4 with my Stormy Sky panel. And that Stormy Sky panel matches very nicely with, actually it's called Cloudy Sky, I think. I'll link it in the description box below. But it goes very well with that Distressed Oxide ink that I used. I did trim the back of that panel off a little bit just so that I'd make sure that my blue panel layered nicely. And then just adding some glue to it and getting it laid down. This came together very quickly once I got my panel blended. The blending does take a little bit of time, but I do enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun, and just trying to see what you can come up with. So I hope you like ink blending as well. I don't know, it's relaxing, and you can just kind of let your mind wander as you're sitting there blending your panels and just relax. So I'm just going to lay down this second black panel. I just thought it'd be nice to have a black panel layering that Stormy Sky, and then the black panel actually layering my blended panel. And I just thought that would look really nice. And I thought this would be a nice masculine happy birthday card. Seems like sometimes I have trouble coming up with some different ideas for some male birthday cards. So I thought this could work quite nicely. And just getting some more glue down in the center of that. And then I get this ink blended panel down, and I'm really happy with how it came together. Like I said, it was quite quickly. I got a little bit of glue on there because I had a little glue on my finger, so I want to make sure I got that cleaned off. And there it is. I think it layered up nice. I was real pleased with how well I was able to set that down on there. Sometimes layering can be a struggle for me, so I was real pleased with that. So now all I need to do is just bring in a sentiment. And I had taken and foiled that same black paper, a happy birthday on there. And I'll link the foiled sentiments in the description box as well so that you can see what those are. And I'm just going to lay that happy birthday down on my panel. I'm just going to use a little bit of foam tape and pop that up. So I'll have a little bit of dimension on this card because it is a very flat card besides the 3 layers, paneled layers. And then I'm going to get the birthday too. And I don't notice at the time, but a little bit of that white foam shows at the bottom of that birthday sentiment. But I'm able to remedy that real quickly. I don't show it on camera because I realized it afterward. But I just took one of my black pens and just touched that foam. And it colored that white so it didn't show on my card. So you'll probably see it when I pop up the birthday segment. So I'm getting my happy laid down there nice and straight. And then there's the birthday. I don't know if you can see it right under that R. There's just a tiny little bit of white popping through. But I'll get that fixed and it'll look great. I actually pointed out. So I'm like, what? So there, you can see I fixed it. I just took one of my pens and just touched it up, and now you can't even see it. So we're going to move on to the sprigs of flowers, and I'm just going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to ink blend a panel using that same scrapbook.com rubber mat and sticky mat, And I'm just kind of getting an idea. Now, I have a plan for this card. I have these hexagon dies from Spellbinders that I haven't used a lot, but I like. And so I'm going to use those, and I'm going to use 3 layers of them. I'm just pulling out my thing here to look. Yeah, they're Essential Hexy Gems is what they're called. So I'm going to use I guess, third from the largest for my blending panel, the second from the largest for my layering panel, and then the largest for my card base. So this is going to be a hexy shaped card base. And I've not tried this before, so it'll be a first time. I'm just outlining my hexy that's going to be around my stamp or ink blended panel so that I kind of know where I need to blend and kind of make sure that I've got my colors in the right area according to where I need to blend. Okay, so if you're hearing a little noise in the background, I'm dog sitting for my daughter while she's on vacation, and her dog loves to hang out in the craft room with me, and she is just snoring away. So I don't know if you can hear that or not, but that's what that little noise is in the background. So this is Mustard Seed, Crackling Campfire, Stormy Sky, and Prized Ribbon is what I'm using here. And I'm just trying to get the yellow in there. And again, you'll see that I will do 2 passes of each color just to make sure I get a good blending, at least. Sometimes I might pass over it, 3 or 4 times, just depending on what it takes to get a blend. And when you first start blending, you're like, oh, this looks awful. It's so splotchy, and am I ever going to get this blended out? I came in too heavy. And if you just keep after it, it'll eventually come into something that you feel like you can use. And also, you got to remember that you're going to die cut it out. And so you can kind of work with the area that you like the best. So I'm my table's waggling a little bit, and I've got my hand there trying to hold it down. I have an electric desk that raises and lowers, and I'm actually standing. I've stood all day crafting, and I'm just kind of trying to hold it because my camera mount is attached to my desk and it's wobbling. So I don't have a real solid, sturdy wood desk that you could clamp onto that would not move. Rather, I've got a desk that is adjustable, so it does wiggle a little bit. I need to figure out a way to mount my camera on something else rather than my desk so that it doesn't wobble. So I'm just using the prized ribbon now. I'm trying to bring in the darker color around the edge. And then I'm going to come around with my second mustard seed layer and then right onto my crackling campfire and just blend, 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 blend. And eventually I'll get to something that is worth using. So let's see. Stormy Sky again. And then I'm pretty sure I'll probably bring prized ribbon back in again as well. So today I just uploaded a video. I'm actually doing the voiceover of this in between. I did the creation of this card, and then I got my mail and got my fuse machine in, and so I did an unboxing of it and played around with it, and then I'm coming back and doing the voiceover for this. So today is a complete Gina K day. I'm doing the two cards and also got my fuse machine in. So what a fun day. So I've been pretty busy all day just in my craft room having fun. I have that leisure today because I don't have the grandkids, and I'm just leisurely kind of doing what I want. So I've got this ink blended the way I want it, and I can see that it is something that I can work with. Now I'm going to bring in my Hexagem die and just kind of tinker with it. Oops, and it's sticking to my magnet. I quickly figure out that it's going to continue to stick to my magnet until I move my magnet. Those misty magnets are so strong. You just got to get them out of the way. So you'll see it's going to pull it again, I think. Yep, and that's what I decide. Move the magnet so that you can work with it. So I've decided that I think I like it this way better. So I'm going to just twist the die and then bring my stamp in and lay my stamp within inside of that die so that I know exactly where I want it and I know exactly how I want to die cut it out. So I'm just getting it positioned and then I can remove my die and I can just start stamping. It looks like I deleted the stamping portion. I must have missed that, and I'm just going straight to the die cutting, which you don't need to see the stamping because you watched me stamp the other one and it took a pretty good amount of time. So I've got that hexagem panel that I think is just gorgeous. I'm going to die cut the black with the next size. This panel here is actually 6 by 11. I knew that a A2 size panel, 4.25 by 5.5, would not be big enough for this because I tested it. And I probably went a little overzealous with a 6 by 11, but I wanted to make sure I had plenty of room for this. So I did waste a little bit of paper, but it's going to work out in the end with my project, and I can just save the wasted paper for scraps. So I'm just going to lay this largest hexagem to where the left edge of it's hanging off and will not cut through my card base, so that I'll have a card base. Now this is the first time I've made a card shaped like this. And so I thought it was kind of fun, something different. And I did make sure that it would fit in an A2 size envelope. You can see I've got the edge hanging off there. And I just took it to my die cutting machine. Those are the 3 nesting dies. And I'm just going to get these 3 panels laid down and get moving on my card. So I'm just going to try to make some fast work of it and just layer up my blended panel onto my black panel, and then my black panel onto my white panel. I did take a break a minute ago and throw together a meatloaf. I was thinking my husband's been out mowing all day and he's going to be hungry when he gets home. So I mixed up a meatloaf, and I've got some potatoes and some corn. He put up some corn, and so I've got that, and I'm going to fix it. And I thought, well, if I'm making a nice meal like that, I'll just go ahead and call my sister and see if she wants to come over and eat with us too. So I sent her a text as she's at work, and she said, that sounds great. So we're going to have a little dinner party tonight and have some meatloaf and some roasted potatoes and corn, and I think it'll be fun. So we may even have some games tonight as well. We'll see what happens. So I'm just trying to be careful with my glue. Trying not to be as messy, and just be very neat. Sometimes my glue gets away from me. I had filled that bottle up and it was kind of making a mess, so I'm trying to be a little bit more careful with it and just get it laid down very nicely on my card base. So I think this is fun. I think this will be a fun card. And I think I'll probably try out some other shapes with my dies and have some different shaped cards. Whoops, it slid on me. Just got to push it back and get it all lined up. Try and get it the way I want it. And I'm pretty pleased with this. I think it looks really pretty. I love the silhouettes. I just think, you get a lot of look for, just a single stamping. I think it looks really pretty. So I've got another glimmer sentiment that when I was working on doing some glimmering, and I'm just going to put it on here. It's just a hello sentiment. And I think I thought about putting it at the top, and then I thought it kind of looked like my stems were just floating there. So I thought I would just set that hello right over my stems, try to get it lined up, and that it would kind of anchor my stems and they wouldn't look like they're just floating in the air. So I'm just trying to get that straight. And that pretty much will finish off my card. And I really like how it turned out. I think it's really pretty. And I think it'll be a nice little card. And I did bring in my envelope just to show you that it will fit nicely inside an A2 envelope. And that finishes up my second card. Here are both my cards. I hope you like them. If you do, consider giving me a thumbs up or even subscribing to my channel. Thanks, and have a great day. Take care. Bye.